Welcome to another awesome video brought to you by Mr. Swallow. Today we're talking about how to make good decisions. Very, very important lesson and topic. As we start, please make sure you have your learning log open, you're taking good notes, and go ahead and pause the video and answer these two questions. Welcome back. Make sure you've answered those two questions. Today we're actually going to start off by talking about The Little Mermaid. I was watching this a little while ago with my son, and when I watched this scene, I was like, man, I've got to use this in my decision-making lesson, because it's just perfect. It just fits really well, and most people know about Little Mermaid. If you don't know about Little Mermaid, Ariel, Little Mermaid, goes and sees Ursula, the sea witch, and Ariel makes the decision to trade her voice for the opportunity to go after Prince Charming. The part that I really, really love about this is that Ursula makes Ariel sign a contract, and that's final. I mean, it's a contract, and Ursula has that she's made the decision to trade her voice for the chance at Prince Charming, okay? And when I saw her, I don't know why, I've watched this 100 times in my life, but I don't know why, but when I watched her sign that contract last time I was watching it, I was like, that's every decision. Every decision, we make a contract. It's done, it's final. Whenever we say, whatever we do, it's done. It's out there in the universe. There's no undos. There's no redos. There's no time machine to go back and stop it from happening. You've done it. So you need to be aware of the decisions you make are affecting you, affecting those around you. And so when we make decisions, we have to put in great effort to make sure that we're not causing harm and that we're bringing ourselves the best benefit possible. All right, moving on. Another principle to help you make good decisions is really just realizing how long you're going to be on this planet. Too many young kids make dumb decisions at the very beginning of their life. Okay, you guys are right here, 14, 15, high school, middle school aged. Most of us are going to live to be at least 78 years old. That's the average life expectancy. Okay, what does average mean? It means the middle. That means, yes, some people are going to sadly pass away a little bit before 78, and some people are going to live on past 78. Okay, so that's a long time. So if you're 14 years old, that means you have 64 years left. 64, that's a long time. Okay, and so you don't get old for a long time. You're not in high school, and then a few years later you turn into old people. Okay, there's this huge span of being young before you turn old. So don't get in the mentality of, oh, I've got to live it up now. I'm only going to live once. Okay, don't mess up your life by making dumb decisions when you're young. Please be smart with your decisions. Listen to your parents. Listen to adults in your life that are telling you how to live your life right now. I know you don't feel like they don't know what they're talking about, but they do because they've been where you guys are. So make good decisions. All right, moving on. This is a decision-making process. These are things that I would recommend you do whenever you're faced with a big decision, okay? We're not talking about what cereal to have in the morning. We're talking about college, career, friends, who you're going to marry, and any other decisions with technology and any other decisions you feel like you need to take some time to do it. This is what you do. First, you breathe. Okay? Don't rush. Remember what your goals are in life. Remember your future. Remember your future family. And just kind of just take a breath. Okay? The next thing you want to do is you want to gather all the different options. Okay? What are my alternatives? Things outside the box. Ask for advice. Do research. Okay? This is the research stage. And then once you have all your options of what to do in that decision, then you go through and you evaluate them. You give them a grade. All right, this one's good because of this. This one's bad because of this. How does this align with my future goals? Is this going to get me closer or further away to my future goals? Okay, and after you've evaluated them, give them kind of all a score, you then pick the best one and you commit and you decide. And then you live with the consequences. Sometimes, even after we do all these things, our decision doesn't work out. And we have to be okay with that. And it's a lot easier, at least for me, when I go through a decision-making process and I give it time and energy and it doesn't work out, I feel I'm able to better live with that decision because I put in the time. But if we just like rush into something and it turns out terrible, you'd be like, dang, I should have taken more time, done more research, asked more advice. Okay? Don't ever feel rushed. Back to Little Mermaid. I thought that's one reason why she was being pressured. She was being rushed into the decision. If she would have taken more time to think, maybe she would have made a bit different decision. And obviously, it worked out for Ariel because it's a movie, but maybe in another situation, it wouldn't work out. So don't rush into decisions. All right, moving on. We're going to talk about another concept that helps us make decisions. It's called ethics. Okay, ethics is moral principles that govern a person's behavior. I love The Emperor's New Groove. Kronk, my main man, he's so freaking funny. And several instances in the movie, he's faced with a choice, a decision, and he always asks his buddies, his angel and shoulder devil, for advice. Okay, there's that tug. There's that. Should I do this? Should I do that? Should I do this? Okay, we have to listen to what that voice inside of us. Okay, we have to listen hopefully more often to our angel than our devil. Okay, we have to do what is right. Okay. For example, so some ethical situations that I've been. These are little things, nothing too big. One time my wife went to McDonald's and bought a soda. And she drank it all, and this was like in the earlier part of the day, and later on I was driving her car around, and I was driving past McDonald's, and I saw her empty cup in the car, and I'm like, oh, I could stop by and get a free drink. She already paid for it, I can just go in and get a refill, okay? This is what's called an ethical situation, okay? Is it right for me to do that, or would it be wrong for me? Go ahead and pause the video. What, do you think it's right, or do you think it's wrong? And write in your learning log, why? Okay, obviously, there's different things to believe in. There's really no law, no cop is going to come in and arrest me. Okay, this is a time where you have to just kind of look inside and decide what you feel like is right. Some people, they might put, yeah, it's fine. You already paid. Your wife paid for it. You're same money. You know, there's whole paragraph you could talk about how it's right, and a whole paragraph you talk about why it's wrong. McDonald's. The actual policy is that you can't get a refill once you've left the premises. But anyway, there's different things that goes into where you're saying is right. Another dilemma happens often when we go to Sizzler. Sizzler has what's called an endless salad bar. And my wife usually gets that endless salad bar, but she only eats one plate. And so that on the table is sitting several plates which are not being used. So is it right or wrong for me to use that plate and go get a thing? Pause the video, say whether it's right or wrong, and why you believe so. So, in the McDonald's one, I didn't go in because I didn't think that was right. But this, depends on the day. Sometimes I use it, sometimes I don't. It just depends on that ethical formula that I go through of whether I decide whether it's right or wrong. There's definitely cases for both sides, but because sometimes I'm like, well. You know, it's how you justify things. It's how you go through things. Things like, well, it's almost closing time, and they're gonna throw the food away anyway, so I go get some. Other times I'm like, no, I didn't pay for it. I paid for my wife to end in the salad bar, so I'm not gonna have some this time. It usually ends up depending on whether I'm really hungry or not. But that's what ethics is the balancing of whether something is right or wrong. All right. Last concept with making good decisions. You have to determine who you are. Make that decision of who you are. Are you somebody that cheats and lies and does bad things, or are you somebody who does what is right and is strong and brave and does the right thing even in times of hardship? Okay. Who you are really is what you value plus your decisions. If you make good decisions and you value good things, then you're a good person. If you value bad things and you make bad decisions, then you're a bad person. Okay, so decide what's important to you, decide what you value, what your values are, what you're going to hold true to, and that will help you make good decisions. It's like I hope they still do this. Imagine in elementary school somewhere, you were like, I am not ever going to do drugs. You signed the paper, okay? That decision, that deciding to value your life and not to do drugs, that set something in your mind that's saying if you're ever faced with drugs, you're going to say no. You need to make that same decision in lots of different aspects of your life so you can have a bright future. Whenever you make a good decision, it makes your future brighter. It's as simple as that. As you continually make good and better decisions, your future will get brighter and brighter until you have a very successful and happy life. I think that's it for today. Oh, some inspirational quotes. I'll let you go and read through these on your own time on the slideshow. I will finish with this. It's not hard to make decisions when you know what your values are. When you're faced with a hard decision, and if you know what your values are, the decision's easy. I'm not going to do that because I value this. I'm going to college, so I can't do this. I am going to college, so I'm going to work hard every single day so I have good grades, so I get good scholarships. I value my future family, so I'm not going to do drugs. So I want to have a family someday. Okay, so that's it. It's how you make good decisions. Please always make good decisions. Take the time, breathe, use the things I've taught you today. Gather options, evaluate your options, and then decide, commit. You have a long time to live. Every decision we make is final. Okay, it's done. Okay, you have to make good decisions because it could have influenced the rest of your life.